Hello, everybody. Wolfang here. It is July 29th, Wednesday evening at the Wolf Den. How we all doing today? Good. I hope everything is going great. I'm just my camera's acting weird, or it's just me. I don't know. Okay, so like I said in the short videos that I do in the after at work, um, Fauci. I I think we know nothing's going to come out of this. It's just going to be a bunch of BS. But I'm still curious how they said on the news that they got their hands on X amount of papers from his diary through tracking or spying. I don't. But anyway, I wanted to share. They got 4 things or something like that. So let me share that. All right, down. Oh, you can get some cool speakers. 4 things Fauci's diary reveals about COVID, Trump, and fame. Really, I know in his diary he's pretty arrogant. Dr. Anthony Fauci's personal diary has been cited in renewed attacks against the top immunologist who became the public face of nation's response to COVID-19 pandemic. Dun, 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 dun. Obtained through subpoena more than 1,500 pages of the 85-year-old former National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, which I called him that earlier, director's diary, are now in the public record. The pages released by U.S. Senator Rand Paul, Republican for Kentucky, gives insight into Fauci's thoughts on everything from COVID-19's origins and the ensuring public health responses to his continuous relationship with President Donald Trump and Fauci's own celebrity. Let's see. The span in sections from 2001 to 2015, as well as from January 2020, during the early onset of the pandemic, through December 2022. WHO estimates that more than 7 million people have died globally from COVID-19, including 1.2 million in the United States. Wow. Here are 4 notable topics in Fauci's writings with direct, unedited quotes from his diary. During July 29 Senate hearing, Fauci repeatedly invoked his Fifth Amendment constitutional right not to incriminate himself. But the thing is Biden pardoned him. There's X amount of years, or he may have been pardoned. They can't touch him. Let's see, I didn't hit continue. Anyway, with the oranges, I want an orange. Early 2020, his diary entries included looking into the origins of the then novel coronavirus, including a belief held by many Republicans that the virus originated at the Wuhan Institute of Virology in China, and that American funding helped lead to the virus creation. Several studies have said available evidence suggests the virus spilled over naturally from animals to humans. Those damn animals. On June 3rd, 2020, he described unusual causes of pneumonia in Wuhan, He entered almost daily updates on COVID-19, including case counts and entries of travelers. In late January 2020, he described conspiracy theories about the virus that created the pandemic and how it was manufactured, and if that manufactured virus was released intentionally or unintentionally. He said, I suggest that we get a larger group of qualified evolutionary biologists and virologists together under the aspects of a convening body and carefully look at this. We agreed to convene by phone the next day. In 2021, he said he'd faced pressure from the right, specifically from Paul, but he said it was molecularly impossible that funds the United States gave to the Wuhan lab created the virus. In August of that year, he also referenced House Republicans who continued to push the idea that the lab leak caused the COVID-19 and that the National Institute of Health had a role in it. But Fauci said it was based on no new information or data. Boy, do we all remember this BS. He said that the accusations stem from the big lie about Trump winning 2020 election, despite his loss in the popular vote and the electoral college count, and that Trump was right about China causing the virus, while Fauci helped create the virus. Next, discredited Fauci, and it looks like Trump is telling the truth. He said on August the 2nd, 2021, it is plain and simple and concentrated effort aimed at getting Trump reelected and exonerating him from any blame in the complete mess up of his response to COVID-19. Exonerating? I don't know. I didn't say it right. Anyway, a 2022 study provided evidence that the coronavirus originated in animals at a seafood market and suggested further study. The WHO issued a report in saying 2025, saying it had more understanding on the virus origins, but needed more information, and China wouldn't provide it. In 2025, the CIA said it was more likely the virus came from a lab than nature, though it said it had a low confidence in its assessment. And it goes on. And I'm not going to keep going on. But like I said, there's a whole bunch of us out there. I'm trying to get my thing to come back up. Come on, there we go. But there's a lot of us out there that said the whole thing was bullshit, period, when it started. And you say anything like that on certain platforms, or I think it was all of them, just about. Ooh, that my wife and I were talking about that being chastised when it all first started because they're blaming this on Fauci. You can agree or disagree, whatever. But it caused a lot of turmoil within family members. And then with the mask, I'm not wearing no stupid mask. And so you got a big family, and half of the family says you should wear it, and the other half doesn't want to wear it. The half that wears it says you can't come over here anymore. And I bet you there was a lot of that went on. And that's sad. That I said I think it was a test to see how the population would react to such a thing. I'm 63, and I never went through anything like that. And it was interesting to watch how humans acted during it too. So just imagine if it got worse than that, and we talk about prepping. That's one of the reasons why you prep. So anyway, this is Wolfgang. I hope everybody has a great Wednesday evening. Hope y'all have good dinner. Mine's in the oven, but it's going to take longer than I thought. So anyway, have a good evening, everybody, and I'll bullshit with you later. Peace. Bye.